Morning, everybody. I'm happening to re-cure my Dutch oven. When I took it out the other day, I smelt it, and the grease was all sticky real bad, and it had a pretty bad odor, and I figure it's probably already soured. So I decided to re-cure it, and I'm going to show you what I've been doing. I started the fire last night with the Rudiger fire method, rubbing the boards together, and I have been out here on and off now for probably about 11 hours now, and I've kept the fire burning, put the Dutch oven in it, been burning it off, and right now I'm letting the fire burn out so it cool off, and it's pretty clean. It's down to bare metal now, and I just thought I'd take y'all along with this and show you what I've done. Now, I did go on YouTube and try to get some information about how to do it, how to take it down to bare metal, and there was so many different ways. I decided to heck with it, and I just go with my gut feeling on how to do it. And to be safe, I decided to go ahead and burn it this long, and like I say, I'm just letting it burn down now. Anyway, I'll take you over here and show you what it looks like. You might can see what it burns. You can see just by looking at it that the Dutch oven is down to bare metal. Now the lid is right there. It's under ashes and stuff. This fire has been burning on and off for, I know about 11 hours, maybe a little bit longer than 11 hours. But it's almost ready, and whenever I'm ready to clean it and start curing it again, I'll show you what I'm doing with that. Okay, try to keep this video a little bit short. Jokingly, I'm going to say this. Yeah, I have a first aid kit. It's right there. Let me show you. It's right there in my workshop. So yeah, there's a first aid kit close by. Just joking. I know that having first aid kits is very important. But if most of us, I think we should, most of us take it for granted that people know that we have, we have first aid kits, or we have access to first aid quickly. So I don't think that needs to be showed every time you do a video. And anyway, maybe I shouldn't take that for granted, but that's just the way I feel about it. Okay, I'll bring y'all back in a little bit. Well, later. Bye. Okay, so I just pulled the oven off, or the pot off of the fire, and I think I made one mistake in that I should have probably tried to figure out some way to have removed the handle here. You'll notice the handle warped pretty bad. I'll straighten it up some, but it ain't no big deal. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. It just gives me an idea how I can make a divot right here for hanging it on a hook. That's one of the problems I've always had with this right here, is it wants to slide on a hook whenever I hook it up. And anyway, you can see all the scale that's inside of it, and of course the scale comes right off. It ain't going to be that big of a problem cleaning. There is going to be some residual rust in it. It's no big deal, but it's clean. That's the main thing I want to do, so that way I can start oiling it. And oh well, I'm having a brain fart all of a sudden, because I can't remember what it's called whenever you put the grease and everything on it. But anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about, and I'll remember on the next video. Okay, so I'm gonna get this cleaned up. Then I'm gonna take it inside. Then I'm gonna start greasing it down, and to do this, I'm gonna be putting it in the oven, curing it. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna clean it up. Then I'm gonna put some grease on it and get it cured, and I'll bring you back whenever I get ready to start curing it. Like I say, I'm gonna be doing that in the oven. I'll show you before I leave, before we go. I'm not sure if this is hot or not, but I'm not going to take no chance. It should be cooled off. Yeah, there's the top. All the rust is pretty much gone, besides some of the residual rust right here. and I'll get that cleaned up in a little bit. Okay, so I've done some research, and what I understand that since I'm getting ready to cure the cast iron, I was told this time, it's the first time and the only time it will be safe for me to use soap with hot water. But as soon as I get it done, to rinse it off real good with hot water and to dry it immediately. Now what I'm going to do as soon as I finish, I got the oven preheating to 250 degrees, and that's going to help dry it out a little bit more. As soon as I do that, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to start rubbing Crisco on it, turn the oven up to 450 degrees and put it in the oven for 1 hour. Then I'll take it back out and I'll leave it in the oven until the oven completely cools off. Then I'll take it back out again and put another coat of Crisco in, put it back in for 450 degrees for another hour. And from what I understand, if I do that 3 times, that's 3 hours at 450 degrees, it should cure it. Okay? Now, I don't use grease very often. I took this grease out. I don't know if you can see it, but it's green. It's yellow. And and it is bad. I wouldn't figure the grease would go bad, but yeah, grease does go bad. So that's going in the trash. And anyway, okay, what I'm gonna do is once I get through washing and drying, and right before I put the Dutch oven in the oven, I'll show you me putting some Crisco on it. Okay, be back in a few minutes. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but I am coating the pot or the Dutch oven with Crisco, and I'm gonna make a suggestion to everybody to not make the mistake like I did and wait until your Dutch oven gets to this point where you have to go through all this, because I will tell you right now, this is going to make a mess. It's making a mess already. It's very, very time consuming. It's going to take a lot of electricity. Plus, you just don't want to let your stuff get abused like this. I should have never let mine get to this point. But I say it, hindsight's always better than foresight. Maybe you can see it a little bit better now. And you can kind of see that it's glistening. See a few places I might have missed, and I can tell right now that mine is going to take at least 2 or 3 coats to cure. So, okay, get this lid done. Then I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cure it for 2 times, or season it the 2 times, and I'll bring you back on the end of the third cure or seasoning and show you the results. Okay, let's say y'all have a good weekend. This is Friday night. This is a heck of a way to enjoy your Friday night, but this is what I enjoy doing. Okay, talk to you later. Bye. Just another quick tip I just found out, that when you do this, you do it inside the house, make sure you can open your windows and turn on your exhaust fan, because I sure didn't know it. Well, look at all that smoke comes out of there. I don't know if y'all can see that smoke or not coming out. But anyway, I'll just deal with it until I do it this time. Okay, talk to y'all later. Be back. Good morning. Okay, so I did my third and final burn or seasoning cure of the Dutch oven. Getting ready to pull it out of the oven. It's been cooling off now for about 4 hours. It's still just a little bit warm, but it should be okay. I still got to wipe it off, and I'm going to bring it out and show y'all. Hopefully you can see it. Now I'm about to set you down a little bit further here. Get you set up here. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna wipe it off. There is a little bit of residual oil on it. I'm gonna wipe it off pretty good. You have to excuse Brandy. She's in rare form again this morning. There isn't much residual oil left on it. It's not sticky. I was kind of concerned about it being sticky. There's a few sticky places in it, but for the most part it's not. And what I found out about it being sticky is from too much grease or too much oil being on it, and it baking on it. From what I understand, that eventually wear off. So as you can see on the rag, there ain't no oil come off of it. So it took it almost all in. So there you go. That's the Dutch oven finished process. Now, talk about a few things that I learned in this process. One, I'm going to turn you around here. There you go. One thing is to never let your Dutch oven or your cast iron get into the shape that I let mine get into. That was foolish of me. Then that way you won't have to go through all this. The second thing is that when you burn it off in, let's say, a fire or even in the oven for that matter, try to find some way to take your handle off, because that did cause my handle to warp. Another thing is that if you can, and I see now why most of the people on YouTube show curing or seasoning on a gas grill. Otherwise, be prepared to, as you see, I've got all my windows open, and I'm lucky enough that I have a sliding glass door, and that helped me get quite a bit of air in here. Because when you're seasoning at 450 degrees and you're doing it at 1 hour increments, you know, seasoning, then putting it in the oven 450 degrees for an hour, it's gonna smoke. I don't know of no way to prevent it from smoking. Also, luckily on YouTube it did say to make sure you line the bottom of your oven when you do it. And let me get one of the pans out. And this is what will happen to your pans. Hopefully you can see it. Let me pull it this way. Hopefully you can see where it crusted right here. Ain't no big deal. I always use tin foil on these anyway. I'm gonna clean them up, but make sure that you do line the bottom of your oven. Somehow or another, just put pans on your bottom shelf or whatever, because when this grease and the oil starts dripping, You don't want this on the bottom of your oven, because no matter what, you're gonna have to clean your oven anyway. But you don't want this on the bottom of your oven. Be twice as hard to clean. Okay, I think that's all that I can remember. I don't use my cast iron very much. I've got frying pans, I've got griddles, and all that. But I use this Dutch oven more than I do anything. And I don't know if y'all really can tell how big this Dutch oven is, but it is big and it is heavy. And of course that kind of shows you how big it is. It's 12, I think it's 12 quart. It says 12 on it. But anyway, it probably weighs about 20-25 pounds. It's nothing I would take camping on a regular basis, but it works good for several things. And also I've got a big enough oven that I don't have to worry about it. Am I going to have one big enough? You know, I'd rather have a larger one than I would a smaller one, just in case. It's great for cooking deer roast. It's good for Brunswick stew. I love cooking Brunswick stew in it, you know, when you gotta have a big pot. And anyway, that should be it. Y'all take care, and I appreciate you following along. If y'all got any kind of hints or suggestions, throw them underneath this video. You know, I don't have that many viewers, but the ones that do watch, you know, maybe by you telling us, you know, you give us some hints. Okay, bye. Have a good weekend.